What's the issue of multiculturalism? What's the issue of secularism? But at the end of the day, what is the project that we're busy with? What is the outcome that we want? I think, especially if I look at the ages of the people here and the familiarity of the people that we've all had rallies with from 1979 onwards at UCT and elsewhere, for us the project was uncomplicated for the first half of the decade of 1980. It was the establishment of Islam wherever we could. And that may be where we want to go to. But that may be the terminus. But there are bus stops along the way. What are some of the immediate bus stops that we need to get to? And I think that what Tariq Ramadan begins to introduce in his work, and what is criticized, and I'll tell you how he's criticized, is that he says that what we've got to open up are zones of Shahada, where you can confess, profess, and practice your faith, privately and publicly. That, I think, is where we need to go to. That's what the Turks, especially Prime Minister Erdogan, envies about South Africa. Because he has seen a Darul Shahada, a place where you can do this in South Africa, which at the same time is a Darul Aman, a place of security for us, which at the same time is a Darul Salam, a place of peace, of harmony with others for us. That's what we're busy with. That has to be the outcome. That has to be the project that we're busy with. Solve the problems of issues along the way, but hold the vision of creating spaces where we can be who we must be, where we coexist in peace, where we enjoy security for us and we ensure security for others. That's why we must have a collective responsibility to banish those, let me rephrase that, to persuade those who believe that this democracy that does all of this also allows them to cross the borders of acceptability and non-acceptability. So the point that I want to make is that, and the critique of you in there, is they're saying this is a trick by Tariq Ramadan, this Darul Shahada that he speaks about. You know, Shahada comes from the word Shuhada. He is in fact calling on Muslims to be willing to die in a jihad. So the point is that if we can hold that up as probably the immediate ideal that we should be striving for, and to build it in South Africa as a model, so that our brothers and sisters in France, in Britain, in the North America, all over, in Turkey even, and so forth, can look at it and say, maybe the South Africans are nurturing something that can be useful for all of us. Given the contested notion of what Darul Islam is, because it differs from Iran to Saudi Arabia, from Saudi Arabia to Pakistan, from Pakistan to Syria, etc., etc., I think that maybe we should recommend for them, first stop at the bus stop of Darul Shahada before you proclaim yourself to have reached the terminus. Because you see, we must be very careful by endorsing some of the heartlands of Islam, Middle East, North America, Indo-Pak, before endorsing it as Darul Islam. We may have to ask, what we demand as minorities in the West, are we prepared to give it when we are majorities in power? That's the test of consistency. Are we prepared to give it? So the point that I'm making is that this notion of multicultural living has profound implications, and therefore what we do, part of this project, part of the outcome that we want, is to have a knock-on effect so that the heartlands understand that unless they too reform, unless they too begin to embrace the notion of Shahada for everyone, we speak with false morality in demanding it for ourselves.